This character, in what ways, if any, did you identify with her?
Oh my goodness, with so much of it. I mean, there's definitely parallels, but that was just the jumping off point. I wanted to transform and create a character. And, it was a wonderful story and great director. I mean, it's all about the director and the actor and how we can collaborate. And so it was really fun to, create Shelly with Gia.
And will you tell me about the difference between this director versus, the Baywatch director that told you, just pretend like it's real?
Yeah, everyone pretend it's real action. That was, no, but I hate to. I don't want to. I loved Baywatch, and I took it very seriously. People don't want to understand that, but I did. I've always been interested in the craft of acting. I just didn't know where to start or where to go. And I remember taking classes, and then I've been taking private lessons since I was on Broadway, and then doing this movie. And I just did Naked Gun and another film with Kareem Anouz, this incredible film, Rosebush Pruning, and every little bit has taught me something. I mean, even Barbed Wire taught me something. It's just so many pieces of the puzzle you have to put together for yourself. And I know I took a real unorthodox route and a long, kind of windy road to get here, and everybody does it different. But yeah, no regrets. But working with a great director is always the best, and that's what I'm looking for in the future, is working with great directors, international, local directors. But that's really exciting to me.
What were your preparations like for this film?
Boy, well, I have a great acting teacher, Ivana Chubbuck, and we worked for months on this movie. And like I said, I prepared for this like I would a play. I knew all the words, obviously, inside out and backwards, before I even got to Las Vegas.
You have an act prepared?
I do. I'm a dancer.
Music?
Yeah. I gave it to the maestro. But I also wanted to be open enough and bring enough experience. I brought all of my life experience to the role and let Gia just kind of have her way with me. I mean, she was the one who, I knew when she said she had it, and we didn't have many takes. We shot on film, we shot in 18 days. So the stakes were high, which is, I think that's my favorite kind of life. I've always felt like that.
Why do you think the stakes were high?
Because we shot on film. It's expensive, and so there's not a lot of takes like you would when you're working with digital. So you have to be careful of what you're shooting. You have to be prepared, and you have to put your best foot forward, because that's it. That's all you get.
From what I've read, you had tea with former showgirls here in Las Vegas. What was that like? What did they tell you?
Oh, well, yes, I met with a lot of Jubilee dancers, and I had them over for tea at my house. I stayed at my ex-husband's house.
You're in Las
found the
Vegas.
house, so I just called him and said I'm staying at the house when I'm shooting the film. And so I had them come over, and I made tea for everybody, and we talked about different stories and some do's and don'ts, and some things that was really important to them, that their showgirls are not burlesque performers, for instance. And I just took a lot of their so much pride and still how they held themselves in their everyday life, just like dancers. And obviously, showgirls, they probably have had a lot of dance experience in their life, and then maybe just didn't make it as a ballerina, but maybe wanted to be showgirl, maybe too tall. And so it was interesting to hear the stories of how they became showgirls. And then what did they do after their career? So those were questions I was asking.
What kind of responsibility did you feel to represent them? In what way? Accurately?
Well, I was nervous. I mean, I really wanted to show the film here. I was really important to me to make sure that, we were doing all these screenings all over the world. And I said, what about Vegas? We have to show it at Vegas before it comes out. And to show our respect for the Vegas community and everybody that helped us. And that's what I wanted to make them proud. And so they said today that they were very proud and very happy. A lot of tears. And that's what you want.
So 18 days in Las Vegas, that's a short time, but you have a long history here. Do you have a favorite memory?
I have a lot of mixed emotions, like we all do when it comes to Las Vegas. But I have no regrets. And I love the nostalgia. I mean, I think that a lot of culture came from here. The 60s, I thought was music and like the Rat Pack and all those times. I was always really fascinated with those times, and I feel like that was American culture at that time. So Vegas really is just loaded with stories and people coming here from all over the world, because it's magnetic. There's something drawing you here. It's seductive, and I thought that was why Vegas was such a beautiful character in the movie as well. It's just so full of life, and everywhere you turn is a picture.
And what about the potential for Las Vegas to become a Hollywood 2.0, as Mark Wahlberg would like it to be?
Well, I think, Vegas is really kind of untapped when it comes to filmmaking. And we were able to, shoot in places that no one's seen. Like Vegas during the day is really interesting. I say Vegas during the day is like a woman without makeup. It's approachable, it's vulnerable, but it's also real. It's just something very interesting about it. And so that was exciting to be able to share that in this film as well. And I mean, just the deserts. I love road trips, and I drove from Vancouver to Las Vegas, so from the north. And it's like showing up on the moon. I mean, the landscapes are so
You
beautiful.
drove here?
Well, I didn't drive myself. I was in the passenger seat, but we did a road trip. You don't want me driving. But it was just gorgeous.
When was this?
To get here to shoot the film from Vancouver.
I thought you took a plane.
Well, no, not today.
Okay.
Not today.
Okay.
No, when I shot the film. Sorry, I'm all over the place. But I just, and to go home every night to those really beautiful fiery sunsets. I mean, there's really beautiful, the landscapes here are just gorgeous.
And then when you look at this film and you take yourself back to when you made the documentary a couple years ago, I think a lot of Americans got to know you then, and I at least wonder, are you proud of yourself?
I just feel like I've just scratched the surface. I feel like I'm just starting. I feel like my career is just starting right now, that I had to learn a lot about myself, in order to be able to play a role like this. So I'm really excited about doing more. And I never thought it would happen, which makes it even more sweet. It makes it more sweet, when it's unexpected. So it's exciting that everyone's really resonating with the film, that I'm being, recognized for something. I don't know. It just feels, it's surreal. It's surreal. But it's also very, very exciting. So, and also very scary. But I like that.
What's scary about it, and what did you learn about yourself?
My gosh. Well, I mean, scary things are always interesting to explore. I mean, I think a lot of it just comes from insecurity, but I always knew that I was capable of more than I was doing, but I didn't know how I would get the opportunity to share that. And so that's what was wonderful about Gia, to have the vision, to be able to see the documentary and be able to weed through the nonsense and see a person aching to express herself as an artist. I didn't think it was going to happen, and it did. So it's never too late.
And she tracked you down.
And she tracked me down through my son. I mean, everyone gets to me through my son. Brandon is the gatekeeper.
And his role in your future?
Oh, Brandon he's a wonderful producer. He's a great actor, and Dylan's a great musician. They have a lot of businesses. We do a lot of things together. But I love watching them, create these businesses, and they just say to me, "Mom, all you need to do is be you. You've earned it. You deserve it, and we just want to create a space where you can explore who you are and see what you're made of. Have the freedom now. We're grown, and it's just I have the time now, and I have the focus. So it's exciting."
Pamela Anderson, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And she's